Hey, thanks for sitting in for another mobility session. Start by finding yourself in a comfy spot on your mat. And we'll take some attention to your breath. Don't worry about shaping that breath or changing it in any way. Just notice it. Try to follow that breath from when it enters your body, through your nose, down and through your system, and around your belly, and then on its way out. And we'll slowly start to shape that breath into a nice, relaxing rhythm that helps you find calm. And the simplest way to do that is just slow things down. When we slow that breath down, it helps us slow our body down. Today's routine, we're focused on the shoulders and the knees. And on your next breath, as you let go of that air, I want you to feel your quads just getting nice and soft, your hamstrings letting go of tension, and your knees sinking heavy into your mat. And we'll work our way up our body. On the next exhale, as you let go of that air, just feel your pecs start to let go of tension, your lats, your triceps, your biceps. Feel your shoulders sink heavy into your mat. Let's take one more good, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll sigh out that breath. And we'll shift into your left lat muscle. So your lats sit basically on the back side of your ribs. They're a big muscle. Can carry tension in a lot of different areas. For a lot of people, the trouble spot's in around the armpit. You may find tension closer to the middle of the muscle, the lower part. Just feel it wherever you're feeling most restricted. Might be a knot. Might be some fascial tissue. Anything that doesn't feel like it's moving like the rest of the tissue, just let that be your focus. The lats are one of those muscles that can restrict our overhead range, so it can be helpful to work on the lats while we're in an overhead position. There are no hard rules, just some principles. Feel out what your body needs today. Concentrating on getting nice and passive. Let your breath calm your mind. Let your mind calm your body. Let's take one more good breath here. Feel that belly rise in the inhale. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift into the right lat. If you found a good target area on the left, feel free to start around that same area. And if it feels like it needs attention, feel free to stick with that spot today. And if that same spot on the right doesn't feel like it needs attention like the left did, feel free to keep searching. This is completely choose your own adventure. Let the video be a guide for your starting point, and let your body's feedback help you dial in what this exercise is going to look like for you today. And whatever we're focused on exactly, just settle in, concentrate back on your breath. Do your best to keep that target tissue synced with your breathing pattern. As that air leaves your system, let that tension leave your lat. Settle into that nice pace, that nice rhythm of breath that helps your mind find calm. Let's take one more breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll shift our attention to the left upper trap. So we'll work our way to a upright or door frame. And just place the lacrosse ball between your trap and that door frame or upright. And just gently lean in against that post. And settle into the right amount of pressure, the right exact location, the right angle. Just leaning into whatever feels right today. It can be helpful to relieve this trap in an overhead position. And whatever your stimulus looks like today, just lean in. Concentrate on your breath. Concentrate on getting as passive as you can in that target area and in any tissue that we don't need to hold this position. We're on our feet, we're doing some stuff. There are some muscles we need, but there's still some muscles we don't need. Think about relaxing through your face, through the base of your skull, your neck, your off arm. Let's take one more breath here. We'll sigh out that breath. And we'll shift our attention into the left first rib. So very similar posture here. We're just going to shift that lacrosse ball into that pocket that sits above your collarbone. And for most of us, it's about the same size as a lacrosse ball. And if it doesn't feel like it quite fits that pocket for you, feel free to just use your fingertips. This can be one of those under the radar target areas that can restrict overhead range. So it can be useful to keep your arm in an overhead position here. Just concentrate on getting nice and passive around that target area and mentally. Mentally go to your happy place. Let go of any stress or anxiety that might be lingering. Just imagine breathing it all out and letting it float away. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll take our attention to the right side. So starting back on that trap. So the upper area of that right trap, using that lacrosse ball in against your door frame or upright. Settling into the right amount of pressure, the right exact location, the right posture. And once you've found your version of this exercise, focus on getting passive. Get passive through that target tissue, through your mind. Get nice and calm and let those calming vibes just work their way through your whole body. Following that nice, slow, relaxing rhythm of breath that helps your whole body relax. Any muscle we don't need right now, hit that off switch, just let it go to sleep. We'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift into the first rib on this right side. So again, the first rib is like that pocket that's just above your collarbone. And if you find that lacrosse ball is a good fit, great. And if not, feel free to just use the fingertips. Like every other exercise, we want to be conscious that we're getting pressure without pain. And we do want to continue to be progressive throughout the program. So attempting to add just a tiny bit of pressure every time we do an exercise. And always paying attention to how your body's responding. Tension relief is good. Pain is bad. Maintain that nice, calm, relaxing rhythm of your breath. Let's take one more nice, slow, long, deep breath. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll come back to the mat for some left shoulder traction. So we'll be demoing the shoulder traction in a child's pose version. So a bowing position, gently holding your left wrist to place with your right hand, gently leaning back in the opposite direction. And just be conscious as we're getting into this that we're not getting into any pain, any feelings of instability. All we're looking for here is a subtle pressure release in around that shoulder socket. If this isn't feeling right, just feel free to ease off on that tension. It's a new exercise. Air on the side of going nice and easy. Let's take one more long, slow, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift to the right side. So pinning that right wrist to your mat, using your left hand, gently leaning away. So you feel a nice, relaxing pressure release in around the shoulder. This is a very subtle sensation. You may not feel anything here at all, really. All we want to do is free up a little bit of space in that joint. Allow those surfaces to glide a little better. Once you're back into your version of this, settle back to your breath. Directing that air deep. Nice diaphragmatic breaths. Let's take one more good, slow, long breath. Slowly sigh it out. And we'll transition into some knee traction. So let's sit upright. With your legs straight out in front. Grab a hold of your left shin with your hands. And we're going to gently push your shin away from the direction of your body and gently turn it inwards. A little bit of distraction force combined with a little bit of internal rotation. And if this is a new exercise, again, being nice and cautious. Air on the side of going nice and easy. The only goal here is to separate those surfaces to give some breathing room in that joint and help that joint glide a little better as it moves. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and we'll transition into the right knee. Grabbing a hold of that right shin with your fingers and hands, gently pressing that shin away from the direction of your body and gently turning it inwards towards your midline. And again, being nice and easy, especially if this is a new exercise. If you've been at this for a while and your body's okay with it, you can be a little more aggressive. We don't need a ton of force here necessarily. Feel out what feels right. This is a fairly active exercise, but it is again helpful to be passive, especially around the target area. So relaxing in behind the knee and those quads. Take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and we'll move into a child's pose. So in a bowing position, arms overhead, sit those hips back. Feel for a stretch through those shoulders. And this is a position we don't need a lot of muscles for. So let's take advantage of that and get as passive as we possibly can throughout your whole body. Mentally go to your happy place. Concentrate on your breath. Let your breath help you find calm. Let that calmness just work its way through your whole body. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active by pressing those palms down into the floor to resist that stretch. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, activating through the lats, pressing down into the floor, slowly ramping up that tension. Let's finish with some big force here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through your posterior delts. Try to pull yourself deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Mentally hitting the off switch on any muscle we don't need. Imagine attempting to fall asleep in the position. Breathing out tension. And living in your happy place. Relaxing through those shoulders. Staying as passive as you can. And we're going to hold this child's pose. We're going to try to emphasize the stretch through the knee. So think about sitting your hips really deep into your ankles, into whatever pain-free range you have. Getting nice and passive, relaxing through the knees, the quads. And in 5 seconds, we'll get active through the knee by attempting to press the shin into the floor. And let's go ahead, activating through that quad. Slowly ramping up tension as we go. And let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. And then we'll gently reverse, activating through the hamstrings. Think about pulling your hips closer to your ankles actively, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Just submit to the position. One by one, try to turn those muscles off. There are not many muscles we need here. Let your breath calm your mind and let your body just completely relax. And we'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and we'll call it a day. Thanks so much for joining us here on 5 Pillar Mobility. Hope your shoulders and knees are feeling great. Hope you enjoyed the routine. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.